adopt the Memorandum of Understanding between Council and the Christchurch Coastal Pathway Group. Paul Lonsdale, seconded by Yanni Johansson.
Just raise a slight amendment to that.
Yep.
And that was that we adopt the Memorandum of Understanding between the Council and the Christchurch Coastal Pathway Group, and we ask that the community board, the local community board, adopt the MOU between Council and the Christchurch Coastal Pathway Group, and refer the MOU to the local community board for input, I think. So that it basically enables the community board to consider it as well. And I think it would be really important to see whether they might like to just sign up as a signatory.
Right. And, okay, so adopt the... No, that's okay. Adopt the Memorandum of Understanding between Council and the Christchurch Coastal Pathway Group and refer it for... refer it to the local community board for adoption, something along those lines. Would that? Are you happy with that as the mover, Paul?
Yeah, I think you could. The council, in its role, could actually delegate those responsibilities to the community board if it so wishes. So essentially, it is. The council can delegate those responsibilities out. So I think if we just make a point to that rather than...
I think that council generally wanted to formally adopt the MOU here to give an absolute reassurance to the community that we are completely behind them. Yep. But I think that the comments that have been made and the questions asked and answered would indicate that having the additional support of the community board would actually strengthen that. So yeah. I'm quite comfortable that that doesn't undermine that.
It should just say refer it to the Hagley Ferrymead Community Board for consideration of adoption.
We've had some suggested wording. I think the suggested wording and refer it to the Hagley Ferrymead Community Board as a party to the Memorandum of Understanding, because then that makes it absolutely clear that the community board is a party to the Memorandum of Understanding. Take out the word adoption. So if both the mover and seconder are happy with that resolution, then we won't need to accept it as an amendment. That is the resolution. So who would like to speak to the... Yep. Yanni Johansson.
Thank you. Thank you, councillors, for the opportunity to speak to this resolution. Actually, this MOU, I think, is a really fantastic opportunity, a new way of doing things. This project has been incredibly frustrating at times because one of the decisions that was made post-earthquake was that all our infrastructure repair would go back to what we had on September 4th, rather than look at the new and exciting opportunities to do things differently and transform local communities. People in this area of the city saw a wonderful opportunity and have come together on numerous occasions to try and get council to embrace the exciting opportunity that through the destruction that was caused by our natural environment, that the opportunity to actually bring joy and growth to our local communities through that same natural environment existed through this coastal pathway concept. So the coastal pathway concept has been a challenging project at times. It has struggled previously to get ahead of the game, and that is ahead of the work that SCIRT are doing as they do the infrastructure repair. Today, I think, is a really clear signal that we are committing to working with the Coastal Pathway Group as a council, as an organisation, through the through the things that we can control, such as skirt, around doing things in a different way. And I think it's a legacy to future generations if we can get these mechanisms in place. It's not about us as a council doing everything. There is a huge amount of money and time and resource that the community are bringing to the table. And although council has put up a sizable chunk of cash, it is important to recognise that many hours of community and volunteer time have gone into making this project a reality. And we, I believe, as a council should be incredibly grateful to those people that have done such a wonderful job. So I do want to formally acknowledge, thank you to the Coastal Pathway Group and all the people in the community that have served on that and have dedicated their time to it. So please support this today. It is a new way of doing things. It is something that I think has wide community support, and we should be incredibly proud as a council to recognise that we don't need to do everything, but that we can actually work collaboratively with groups to enable things to happen that will transform our city and our community. Thank you.
Paul Lonsdale.
Yeah, I'd like to fully endorse exactly everything Yanni has said, but also I think we need to look at Christchurch in the future. We have some massive opportunities from local tourism, national tourism and international tourism to strengthen that, and of course strengthening our pathways to our natural assets I think is a key factor in actually strengthening all those elements in our tourism sector. We were producing $2.4 billion pre-earthquake in tourism. We know that tourism in the future is going to be another major growth factor for us. This is going to strengthen that and could potentially tip that 1.9 day stay from international visitors to that 2.5 days, which would place at least another $1 billion onto our current income. So I want to thank the Coastal Pathway Group. This shows a true partnership and a change in style in the way our council is going to work collaboratively with groups such as these to produce a great outcome for the city. So I want to see that we get right behind this here, send another signal out, as we've done in some of our previous decisions, to the community that we're going to get right behind them and support them doing great work in our community. Thank you.
Right, I shall put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you. Moving on.